What you are about to hear is highly classified. Pay attention and listen at all times. And most importantly, remember, if you haven't watched Arrow Season 2, then there's no point in listening to this episode. Because it's a very pointed conversation. Eh? No? Yeah, that was lame. Ladies and gentlemen, you are now entering Zone 4. And welcome back to the Zone. I'm Brant Fowler.
I'm John Wilson.
I'm Chuck Moore.
And that's it. That's all.
And that's it. That's all there is.
We are three. We are the Three Musketeers.
Yes.
Yes.
Zone 3.
We are basically CR. So,
That's true.
Yeah. It's an all-owners show tonight.
Oh, yeah. There you go. That's the way to do it.
Exactly.
Throwing down old school style.
That's right. The rest of you losers take a nap.
Exactly. But yeah, we're it's just us three tonight, no fourth, and we're okay with that.
Yes.
I got no problems with it.
I think they're all assembling in the Hall of Justice to storm us later. All the other cast members. Yeah, but yeah.
Why didn't you let us on?
Yeah.
I didn't want to talk to you. Go away.
Yeah. It'll be like,
Gary's got his trident. He's got an army of fish coming across the water 80 miles an hour.
Yeah, and then we're like, we're talking about Arrow.
Oh. Everybody's gone.
Yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know who we're having on next week. We'll see what happens.
Cool.
But fun
I
times.
can tell you one thing.
Yeah.
Given
It
next
ain't gonna be you?
it won't be me.
Yeah, I know that.
That I know.
Obviously.
Wow.
We'll get into that later on in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's kind of... Well, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say, if it's not done before Friday, it ain't going to be me either.
Not me either. So, hey. But
I'm heading to River City on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, though. Last week we had the Zone 4 originals. This week we have the CR originals. So.
Wow. Really?
Neat.
You had all four of the originals?
Well we call John a pseudo-originals.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm like Captain America'd in, you know?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
You know,
nobody from a land down under. Okay. I got you.
Right.
Sadly.
Too bad.
He no longer exists in real time.
He has been wiped from the books of memory.
That's right.
Yes.
Actually, recently I saw him on Facebook wearing a Google Glass.
Wow. I really kind of want one of those. I'll own it.
Yeah.
It may be the segue of the next generation, but I want to be. I want to be the guy riding it.
Cool. Let us know. He said it's kind of disorienting.
Well, yeah, you're walking around it, but you're trying to read something like 2 inches from your eye.
Yeah.
I imagine that could be a problem.
I'd say so. For me, it would be a total disaster because I have astigmatism in one eye.
Oh, yeah.
So if I put it over that eye, I can't read it anyway, and if it's over the other one, then I can't see where I'm going or anything. So.
I just want to be an early adapter so I can be part of the class action lawsuit for the retina damage.
There you go.
Yeah,
exactly.
Hey, I can get my eye fixed for free.
That's my retirement plan, man. Come on, give me my Google Glass.
when you crash your car using Google Glass.
Yeah. I'm gonna take a second bite out of Apple.
There you go.
You killed my Prius.
Did you see my Prius got its first ever bumper sticker? It's the first bumper sticker I've ever put on a vehicle in my life.
I did see that. Yeah.
Did you notice the 1 point that I made as well?
What was? No, I missed it.
No, where did you buy your car from?
That one I got in Lexington.
Okay, but what was the name of the place? Do you recall?
Greens Toyota.
Greens, yes. So it's local. Local's all about being green, so it works out.
That's nice. Yeah.
Nice, awesome.
That's good. For those who didn't see the photo, it's I'm so local, I'm right here, which I thought was just a freaking great little funny phrase. But anyway,
that's nice.
It's very non-specific too. It's almost like you could use it at any city rather than
Yeah. Oh man, I am living the Zone 4 tradition. I'm just derailing us left and right. So.
No, it's fine.
Sorry.
What I did love about your bumper sticker too is that it's like. Was it like a clear background, or did it just match your car?
It matched the car.
Wow.
That's what I love.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh no, because I have some clear bumper stickers, and they just they almost become invisible on the car.
It's cool about that bumper sticker? Memtech, it's a Louisville-based company, and JJ Hawes, who I went to, basically, he was part of my college family. I mean, he was over at my house. He played my old Champions game. He's like a brother from the old days, and he's now doing like a $500,000 a year company. He does all the T-shirts for the Lebowski Fest and all kinds of stuff. But those stickers, they won't fade in sunlight for 3 years, but when they do start to fade, they peel off without hurting your paint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they're freaking awesome. He's doing a whole run of them for Derby City, just to kind of get it out there. So we'll have Derby stickers on our cars soon.
Derby
stickers. Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so before we continue with the show, we do have the Comic Geek Speak spot about the Jamie's Avengers run for Livestrong. So we'll pause for a minute so you can take a listen to that, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Hi, everybody. This is Brian Chrisman.
Shane Kelly.
Adam Murdo.
Matt.
Chris Eberly.
Peter Rios.
And we're from the Comic Geek Speak podcast.
On May 2nd of this year, our friend and fellow podcaster, Jamie D'Alessandro, lost his battle with cancer.
In honor of Jamie, we are participating in a 5K and 10K race to raise money for the Livestrong Foundation, which provides support for people with cancer.
We will be taking part in the Team Livestrong Challenge, Philly, on Sunday, August 17th in Blue Bell, Pennsylvania.
We are collectively running
and walking
under the team name of Jamie's Avengers.
If you'd like to join us in the event or make a donation to our team, go to livestrong.org and search for Jamie's Avengers.
Thank you all for your time, and
Jamie's Avengers assemble!
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so getting into the topics and everything in the show,
Yes.
we are totally flipping things around this week.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing headlines at the end.
Oh, okay.
Scary.
And it kind of makes sense the way we're approaching the headlines this week. So you'll just have to wait and see. And we're going to save the sponsor for the end, too. So we're just going to dive right into topic time.
Topic time.
It's topic time. TV talk.
Topic time. Sorry.
And this week...
Do you still do that at all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Audio cuts and stuff? Okay.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Usually
No,
Ron
just every week,
screeches
so
it out.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Ron screeches it out, and then we add the audio.
Oh, okay. I played the Ron.
Yeah. Usually Ron, it's like, topic time!
I'm like,
Nice.
cut it out.
And then he does the Tarzan yell for the shout-outs, too, when we do those.
Oh, my Lord. I couldn't do that if I tried.
I couldn't either.
Yeah.
I usually do a coughing version of it, like,
But we have fun. But this week for Topic Time, we are talking all about Arrow, specifically Season 2, but we'll cover the whole show.
Okay, cool.
So I guess maybe we'll touch on Season 1, but definitely covering Season 2. Hopefully John at least read the wiki. Giving away secrets, sorry.
hey, I am prepared, but
All right, cool.
He's been watching all day. His day has had a point.
There you go. Awesome. Point. Yeah, I got you. Can always count on Chuck for the puns.
I try, man. I'm here to punish you.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, but yeah, so this is something we've actually all been wanting to talk about for a few weeks now. Chuck actually caught up on everything, and which is amazing. You've been catching up on shows left and right lately.
This is my initial. I have determined that I want to get back in the water cooler lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be there when everybody's discussing it on the day after the show or that evening. And there's so many shows like let's see, Sons of Anarchy, Blacklist, Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Arrow. The list just goes on. And right now I'm currently catching up on Game of Thrones and Walking Dead. So it's like this quest to get, when the new seasons start, I'm going to be right there with everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of hard too when you're on Facebook as much as we are, for promoting stuff and everything, to avoid spoilers.
Man, I gotta tell you, the worst possible spoiler came through. Again, I don't mean to derail you for 2 seconds, but I I am really good at avoiding spoilers. I work to avoid spoilers. I got a damn email, forgive my language, from a guy who plays a zombie on The Walking Dead. If you know T-Dog, he's the zombie that killed T-Dog. And he was also the first zombie that came walking out of the barn when they opened up the barn on the farm. So he's been in a couple key moments in the Walking Dead series. I open this email, and the first image that pops up is him biting the shoulder off from T-Dog. And T-Dog wasn't dead yet when I was watching. It took somebody trying to pitch me to come to the show to spoil it for me, but they got me. Sorry.
That's awful. I hate it when that happens, though. When there's some things I avoid so far, and then I'm like right about to watch it, and something just hits me, or it happens with the comic too. But.
Yeah.
But anyway, how do you guys want to approach it? You want to go overall what you thought of the season, and then kind of break it down from there?
Well, want to go round robin around the table and just do like an initial thoughts on the series, and then we can like hash it out.
Yeah, we can do that. Okay. Cool. You want to start?
Me?
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Right.
I avoided Arrow like the plague for a long time. I was at John's. I was staying over at John's. We watched the first 2 episodes, and if the very start of the series is a little slow. It's very much into the origin of Green Arrow and his time on the island and different things. And I basically, after those first couple episodes, I didn't dislike it. I just never wanted to really get back to it. Mm-hmm. And I let it go until basically 2 seasons were done. And everybody was talking about how great season 2 was, how many characters were tossed in, how many Easter eggs there were for the DCU. And I just thought, okay, I'm going to give this a serious try. I'm going to go ahead and blow through both seasons and do my best. And I was expecting a brooding version of Smallville. And what I got was a character-driven drama that was just really wonderfully celebratory towards the fanboys, gave us back a lot, had great stories, and had a layered story design that just really kind of amazed me. I was really impressed, not just with the series and kind of the hit point, the beats of the story, but the way that they layered 2 intertwined deep narratives throughout 2 seasons and kept it going in a really great way. So I was thrilled by the end. I'm a fan.
Awesome. Yeah, I kind of had the same experience. I watched maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes, and it was so slow and plodding that I was kind of like, it was one of those shows where I'd watch it, but it was like at the bottom of the list of stuff I watched. Mm-hmm. So I'd catch it like a few days later, or a week later, or whatever, and then it just kind of piled up where I had like 6 or 7 episodes, and I think it was Ron and Gordon kept talking about it on the show, and I finally caught up here and there, and it gradually got better. And when season 2 hit, it really took off and turned a corner and kind of found its footing, and all kinds of stuff was happening, and it got really, really interesting and fun. So
yeah,
I really like it. John?
Well, I think season 2 was like that for me. Actually, it got started a little bit slow. Because I had watched 1 kind of in real time, and it was okay. It wasn't great, but, it was good. And then 2 started, and I caught the first couple in real time, but it got slow, or it felt slow to me. And, I got a little tired of the twists and turns with the mother and all that. So I sort of let it fall off and pile up, and just from there really only watched like the event shows, like the one where Barry was on there.
Yeah.
And Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. I really just watched the event episodes and didn't really pay too much attention to the rest. But yeah, towards the end it picked up and became a lot better for me.
Okay.
And Easter egg filled, obviously.
Oh God, yeah. Funny thing for me is I loved season 1. I've got to be one of the only guys out there that by the time I got about 4 or 5 episodes in, I was in. Okay. And I really, when I got to the end of season 1, everybody's talking about how incredible season 2 was and how much better it was. I felt like a kid in a candy store because I was pleased with the season 1, but I do have to agree with John a little bit in that the first couple episodes, just 1 or 2 of those first ones, I did feel a little let down, but it took back off almost immediately after that, and then it was just a pleasure ride the whole rest of the way through.
Yeah, I think it changed the entire concept basically, because season 1 was all about the journal that his dad left, and crossing off the names of the list. And for me, I guess that got a little bit formulaic, because it almost felt like not like Smallville's Freak of the Week kind of thing, but it was in the same vein of that, because it was the same thing. He's got to cross off another name on the list and everything. And obviously, towards the end of the season, we got introduced to Merlin, and things got amped up a little bit there.
Right.
But yeah, I guess with season 2, when it started, because they changed that direction, it took just a little bit of time to kind of flow into that.
Mm-hmm.
So I get what you guys are saying.
Yeah. Well, I think what it was that the thing with the list is it became, it very much became, okay, we ended the problem by the end of the episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mark off a name at the end of the episode, next episode another name. At the beginning of season 2, it felt like that it was still taking that tack. They didn't have the list necessarily, but it still felt like, okay, we took care of the present day problem at the end of the episode. Of course, the flashback problem was ongoing.
Right.
But,
yeah,
but, the present day issue was taken care of kind of at the end of that particular episode. And then when they really got their footing and started rolling along, each episode built onto the next one, rather than just have it be, check off one thing and move on.
I have to say, as far as the flashbacks go, I love the way that they, not just the way they intersperse them, because I do appreciate that, but I like the way that certain flashbacks tie into present events.
Yes.
Right. So what's going on? Yeah.
You took the words right out of my mouth. I did love the layered effect. They would, when they wrote the series in such a way that when things were necessary to reveal in the primary story, they were right there with it in the backstory. It was two interweaving tales that just really played off for each other, because most backstory flashback type things are crap.
Yeah.
And in this one, it really was such a driving force, because as you were trying to understand what was happening in the present, it all was explained to you in the past. And it was just I thought it was great. And I love also the way it, like you guys talked, John mentioned it building. As it built towards the finale, it rolled in even minor things that you thought weren't really relevant in some of those throwaway stories. When you got to the end, it was all in there, piecing it together. And same with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Both those shows just really did a great job of tying everything together in a nice way with a bow on top at the end of the season.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about the flashbacks, and then I totally lost it. Oh, yeah. When during season 1, I remember we had a discussion on Zone 4, whoever was on at that time. Probably Ron, Gordon, John, and I. And we talked about how, the island, he was there for 5 years, but we've already seen elements of how he got off and all this stuff. How in the world are they going to stretch that out to 5 years? What are we missing here? And I think it's interesting that even by the end of season 2, we've come to realize that there is so much that happened on that island that we don't even know about, and there's so many potential things that could have happened there. So So they took something that could have been very simplistic and very straightforward, and kind of stretched it out and even layered it within the layer itself. So
yeah, definitely. And how about John Barrowman? I really like him through the course of the series. Yeah. I thought he was phenomenal. Captain Jack Harkness, that lovable scoundrel, playful, that's hard to match. But I thought as a serious acting role, it really showed Barrowman's chops through this, because he came out as a strong character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's we're going to mention him later on in the headlines as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
That kind of relates to that.
Nice.
But he was kind of a breakout character on that show.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
And when he supposedly, by the way, spoilers. 2 seasons are over.
Yeah.
When he was supposedly killed and everything, it was like, Well, you know, he was a great addition to the cast. It's sad he's gone, and then he comes back, and it's like, okay, he's going to be there off and on. And, you know, he came back at key moments, and the reveal with him ended up being Thea's dad and all that stuff, and, you know, kind of tying him into the further, you know, to the deeper story and everything. It was really interesting.
Nice. Yeah, I was kind of, you know, it was through the course of that, I was afraid they were going to go with a Luke, I'm your father type thing.
Yeah,
I thought it was Thea was kind of a pleasing twist.
Yeah. And, you know, we mentioned the mom.
Yeah.
What about the mom? My God. John, I know you said you were kind of tired of that at first, but
well, you know, it just seemed to be that after a while it got to be, how can anyone this duplicitous still say that she did it all for her family, or that, you know, she's so in love with her family, and yet every word that comes out of her mouth is a lie.
Yeah.
You know, even straight to her own children.
Yeah.
It just got to the point where, you know, she was becoming a character. Oh, we need someone to lie here. Well, let's get Moira.
Right.
To do it, you know. So it got to be a little too formulaic in that way.
But I think by the end of season 2, even though she was that way, she was very duplicitous and very, you know, deceptive and everything. For me, at least, by the end of season 2, or, you know, when her, you know, calling
when
her
her arc ended.
Yeah, when her part ended. At that point, I actually cared about it. It was a character I didn't expect to care about, and in that moment, it was just like, oh my God, you know, I don't want this to happen. What's going on here? And you know, I felt it. I was drawn into that whole scene. So
yeah, and a lot of characters like that, like Tommy Merlin. I didn't want to see him go when he went. I was enjoying him as part of the cast. You know, Detective Lance has been strong. I mean, I've enjoyed watching over the course of 2 seasons him kind of become the Jim Gordon character for Green Arrow. I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, Manu Bennett as Slade Wilson, I thought was phenomenal. I thought that was a great Slade Wilson.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect casting there. And I love Summer Glau anyway, but I love her as the stand-in Ravager, basically.
Yeah, you might as well call her Rose at this point. But
Yep. Yeah, and the Diggle character, they did such a great job making him just evolve over the course of this series. It's almost the Diggle show as much as it is the Green Arrow show sometimes.
Well, you know, I was thinking that with Felicity too. It's like she's become so integral to this, not just as, you know, his computer hacker, information source, exposition person, whatever you want to call her, but she's really become like the conscience of the group, you know, and of the show, and she's the one that gets to, you know, say things to Oliver that no one else can get away with saying.
Yeah, right.
I have never really been completely thrilled with the Laura Lance character, though.
No, me either, because you know, I expected her to be Black Canary.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
And, you know, Black Canary ended up being her sister.
Yeah.
Who was supposed to be dead.
But,
though they did give her that nod where her sister hands her the jacket.
At the end,
So, who knows? Maybe I can't see her, that actress, being in that kind of role, but, you know.
Yeah.
Although she was, you know, kicking butt towards the end. She was throwing quite a few punches there right near the end of the series.
Yeah.
It's weird. You know who she is, right? Katie Cassidy?
No, fill me in. She's familiar, but I don't have it.
It's David Cassidy's daughter.
Oh, you're kidding?
Really?
No. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
A man whose hand I have shook.
Really?
Oh, well, there you go.
My mom and I were on a tour at Universal Studios, and he came running out. It was during the Knight Rider days, and he came jogging out all David Cassidy style. And wait, do I have the right actor?
You thinking Hasselhoff?
No, you're thinking Hasselhoff, dude.
Partridge Family is what
Partridge Family, David Cassidy.
Funnier. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Oh no, I didn't have that at all. Okay, yeah, no. Okay, forget it. I was talking the Hoff.
How can you get the Hoff mixed up?
It's a David. Come on.
With anybody.
Cheeseburger.
Yeah, no kidding. So what do you guys think about Roy Harper, Colton Haynes, through the course of the series? Exactly.
Yeah.
Tiny little.
Honestly.
Such and such,
Yeah, honestly, I've seen him in a few things. He was
Yeah.
in Teen Wolf in the first season. He was on another show, another supernatural show I watched called The Gates that only lasted a season. And he always plays the same kind of character, this angry, kind of arrogant, it almost feels like that's who he really is in real life because he plays it so much. And he's just kind of for me, he's kind of a bland character. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah, he's just there. He serves a purpose, but it's like there's not enough personality to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really made no sense to me why he would have the Mirepoix or whatever the heck it was called.
Yeah.
In him, and then like right at the end of the season have it taken out, and then suddenly he's whipping out bows and arrows.
Yeah.
Well, he was training for a while, and
for like an episode or two.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It was a little rushed in places, but I gotta admit, the Suicide Squad blew me away.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Deadshot, I hated when he first came on.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just such a letdown for that great character.
Yep.
And then as he kind of evolved, I really came to like him through the course of the series.
Oh, I did too. Yeah. I totally agree. That first
total transformation.
Yeah, that first episode of him was awful. I mean, his portrayal, but yeah. Going forward, he was a really interesting character. I know I've heard a lot of like negative comments about that Suicide Squad episode, but I actually really enjoyed that one.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Did you hear remember before you watched that episode, I mentioned that they did this little nod to a character where she just spoke out of a prison cell.
Oh, her? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
He was a counselor.
You need a counselor.
I love that. I love the little nods they throw in there.
Yeah, they do. They do great.
And they've really cleverly been able to use characters that may normally have powers or special abilities in this non-power kind of world. So, side,
like
Canary's sonic scream disc instead of it coming out of her mouth.
Yeah. I really lost exactly what I was about to say, so go ahead. I got to focus on the sonic scream and I lost it. It'll come back to me here in a minute.
Okay. So,
Oh, I got it.
Yeah,
got it. Okay. My highest compliment I can give this series is when I was done watching it, I had so much fun watching it. I am not a Green Arrow comic reader.
Yeah.
And I found myself wanting to find out where the last jumping on point was, and I've got them set aside as I catch up on my comics. I'm going to catch up on like 7 or 8 issues of Green Arrow in a row because I want to see how much, because I know the Diggle character's there now, and I know they brought kind of some of the television series over into the comics as well. So I found myself almost hoping that I would get some of the feel of Arrow in the comic series, which is a really unexpected turn for what I was wanting out of this. So.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I'm not a Green Arrow reader either. I tried the first couple issues in New 52 and I didn't like it, but like you said, they've incorporated some of the elements from the show, like Diggle, and it's a completely different creative team than it was when it first started too.
Nice. Last time I read it was when they were doing the Star Forest or whatever. I don't know if that was New 52 or not, but
I don't remember.
I think that was just right before the new.
Right before, when the whole forest had become like Sherwood Forest grew up in the middle of his city, and he was like living in it, defending it. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was pretty new.
Yeah, that was right after Justice League, Rise and Fall of the Justice League, or whatever they were calling it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. The New 52. It started off with him with these 2 sidekicks, and he was de-aged, and it was just weird. But now I think Jeff Lemire wrote it for a while. Or he may still be writing it. I don't know, but it kind of took on those more serious elements that the TV show does. So.
Yeah.
I've heard good things. So.
Yeah.
Speaking of 52, though, have you noticed how often the number 52 pops up?
In the show. Yeah.
In Arrow, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. They like touting that out. I agree.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
I just love that they mention stuff like, Keystone City or whatever.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
stuff like that throughout the series. It still bothers me that they call it Starling instead of
Starling.
Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. But
They didn't think anybody would call a city Star. I don't know.
And I love that they keep talking about referring things to Judge Grell. And I just pray at some point Mike Grell is on the series in that Judge
that'd be
role.
cool.
That would be such a beautiful little Easter egg to throw in, even if it's just a passing moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, such respect for that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Dollmaker's lawyer was Tony Daniels, and I went, when I heard that.
That's one of my favorite convention moments is Mike Grell. This guy is dressed as the Golden Age Flash, and somebody asks him to pose for a camera shot, and he does like a fake running thing, and Grell just like pops up, he looks over and goes, no, hops up from his table, runs out around the table, and takes the guy's hands and positions him as the Golden Age Flash would stand when he's running, and like told him how to hold his leg and everything, and like totally choreographed this perfect shot for these people, and it was a really cool moment. It's just like he has a passion for attention to detail.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the involvement of Argus and Amanda Waller in the show?
DC, I'm kind of tired of Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
Especially once they decided, she had to be a diet, mistress again. I hate the new 52 version of her. We can't have anybody with any weight on them in the DCU. It's bullshit. Excuse my language.
All right.
Skinny Amanda Waller doesn't do it for me now.
No, I agree.
You can't call her the Wall. It just
exactly.
Yeah, no. Deadshot called her the Wall once, and I'm like, doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. No, it's just not the character.
Yeah.
It's just she's another carbon copy of everybody else. It's just
right.
Yeah.
She doesn't have the presence. She tries to sound mean.
Yeah.
But then she ends up doing exactly what's being asked of her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the old Amanda Waller, I'd read her forever. I mean, I thoroughly enjoyed that character because when she came on, you knew stuff was going to go down.
Right. Yeah.
that was going to be, she just was, had that edge about her. And
they kind of diluted her, yeah.
Yeah, completely.
Yeah, and so punked out on the, the bomb blowing up thing.
Yeah.
When shrapnel drove off, it was just like this thing of, they blew his head off, but there was no indication of it. It was just smoke on the horizon.
Yeah, I remember that.
I mean, I wasn't expecting, like a Game of Thrones head pop or anything, but still.
Yeah, he hasn't caught up to that yet, John.
Oh, I know. No, there's a lot of head popping in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It won't mean anything to him.
We'll just shift it to a Walking Dead reference.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
That happens every 3 seconds in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, Brant, have you watched the 4th season of Walking Dead?
Yeah.
That opening episode, John, I don't mean I don't know if you care if I spoil or anything.
Oh, go for it. I haven't watched Walking Dead since the first season.
That scene where it's literally raining zombies through the ceiling, and I just love that made me laugh so hard. That was so creative and so just bizarre. But anyway, sorry. Okay.
No, it was great. A great visual. And
God.
It was like you knew it was coming too. It was just, they're
yeah.
walking through and you're like, oh my god, they gotta fall through.
Start falling through the ceiling. And literally, they're just like dropping through the ceiling like rain.
Yep.
Oh my god, I just watched that like an hour ago. So.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a zombie NATO.
Yeah. Well, John, it was like this army helicopter had crashed on the roof, and all the survivors and then the people who got trapped up there after it kind of blew up were all zombies still stuck on the roof. And one guy knocked over like a shelf of bottles, and it caused a chain reaction that weakened the ceiling, and one zombie fell through, then all the others, and it kept building until the helicopter actually fell through the roof. It was such an Indiana Jones running through the tunnel kind of thing in a really bizarre way.
Wow.
I loved it.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was. Well, okay, another derail. I'm back.
So what did you think about the season finale of season 2 of Arrow? Where it left off, huh?
Me or John?
Either one, whoever.
Phenomenal. I thought the twist of her getting in the car with him, I was getting a little, I felt she was getting a little whiny through the later part of the season, and her kind of taking charge of her own life in a way, and not depending upon everybody else, and it just. And I just know that's going to be a heck of a great plot line with Barrowman at the helm of it. So I love it.
Notice she went for the all black outfit and kind of that very hardened look.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just makes me curious because all this time he's had his family foundation there. Even as messed up as they were, relationship wise. But now he's his mom's dead, his sister's gone, and now it's going to be something completely different. I love the way that they just kind of reset at the end of every season now.
Yeah, I have to agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Well, his company's gone and he's poor too. So,
yeah, that's true. Very true.
That's going to be another plot point.
Which is something that they explored pre-New 52 with Green Arrow 2.
That's the kind of classic thing. He lost his money way back in like the 60s or 70s, and kind of became the anti-establishment superhero.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I liked it. I'm trying to remind myself of one character's name here. For some reason, I cannot. I'm drawing a blank. On the island, the young woman that befriended him and Deathstroke.
Shadow?
Oh, yeah, Shadow. Anybody see her coming back in season 3? Actually alive?
She got popped in the head.
I know.
I don't see her coming back from that unless she's some sort of zombie or something.
Unless she got injected with the Mirakuru or something. They could get around it.
Lazarus Pit, baby. Lazarus Pit.
Well, that too. Yeah.
They did reference Raish, and you had Nissa at the end. So why not?
That's true. Yeah. And Merlin's running from the League of Shadows. So
yeah. Which I don't know how. I guess the Batman movies are owned by the parent company. Yeah, they can play off from those characters, can't they? Yeah, because look at the Gotham series, of course. It's not like Marvel where it's divided between studios.
Right. And they've already said that they're kind of planning to bring Nightwing in at some point. So
I mean, they've mentioned Race by name. So I mean.
They mentioned him in the first episode of this season.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very possible.
That's cool. Yeah. Having a consistent, complete universe that they can play with is just phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I think that is an advantage this series has. Yeah. But
I'd like to see that. I'd like to see more of the. I don't know. Like I'm not a huge fan of the character, but I could see her working in this world. Would be somebody like what's her name? Katana, or is that her name?
Yeah.
The
absolutely. Outsider.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, Katana.
Yeah, I could see some of those characters like her working in this world.
Well, they did also mention Markovia.
Yeah.
So, you could technically get Geoforce or whatever his name ends up being.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of season 3, and we mentioned John Barrowman a few times, he has been upgraded to a series regular for season 3.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So we're going to see a lot more of him.
I like it.
So we know there's no Torchwood coming anytime soon. Then
I guess so, yeah. And there's talk of casting breakdowns for season 3. They're being very vague. They've given them code names for some of the characters that are coming up. They call one of them quote unquote Daniel, and it's described as a 20-something major recurring character. He's handsome, enigmatic, highly intelligent. And develops groundbreaking technology, and the kind of thought behind that is it might be Ted Kord.
Well, the first Blue Beetle's name was Daniel Garrett.
There you go.
Yep.
See, so sneaky.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very good.
It could have nothing to do with anything, but just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, they've talked about Blue Beetle showing up anyway in the past, it's been a rumor or something, so it wouldn't be surprising at all.
It'd be cool just to see the bug on, on TV.
Absolutely. And I did also. I mean, talk about throwaways. I know you're into talking about new stuff, but I forgot to mention Professor Anthony Ivo.
Oh, Ivo, yeah.
Yeah, and the ship called Amazo. I mean, those little Easter eggs are just beautiful.
Yeah, I love that stuff too. So the next character they're codenaming Seth. It's a well-educated criminal with grand ambitions and a knack for chemistry. It could be potentially recurring. Character gains powers over his enemies by exposing them to a drug that drains their willpower, and he's a physical match for Arrow.
Huh.
That one left me kind of scratching my head.
I got no idea on that one, honestly. Yeah. John, you're the true DC.
The only chemistry person I can think of would be either have to be Scarecrow or Joker.
Yeah, but neither
and
one
surely
of them...
they wouldn't let Joker in this.
No.
Arrow doesn't classically have any chemistry-based guys.
Hmm.
He didn't have much. He's never had much of a rogues gallery, so you know.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know about that one. And then the final two are apparently a married couple that they're calling Tashi and Akiko. Tashi, Oliver's teacher and handler, and eventually a friend, a well-trained operative skilled in weaponry, combat, and intelligence gathering, is also a devoted father and husband. And his wife is another of Oliver's Hong Kong caretakers and is herself highly skilled in martial arts.
Wow.
Got nothing there unless they're doing Punch and Julie.
I have no idea who that is. So
they're not Asian, and it's like a B-grade villain couple.
Okay. So either way, they're obviously, adding new characters, growing cast and everything.
Well, they popped up a whole Hong Kong connection.
Yeah.
At the end of the final.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm just kind of trying to think here. I got nothing, man. Especially on the chemist one. That one I feel like I should know, and I just don't have it. But...
Yeah, there's not... I'm trying to remember, but I can't really think of any Green Arrow, even slightly connected to Green Arrow characters that dealt in any sort of chemistry.
Yeah. I did like in the series the almost throwaway kind of Solomon Grundy references to that one guy.
Yeah.
With the I thought that was kind of cool, but... Let's see, we've seen Vertigo, we've seen the Clock King. I'm just going through some of the major...
Merlin, of course.
I've got a rogues gallery pulled up, and
I do too.
Someone repeatedly called the Duke of Oil, which is kind of funny.
Oh, that's a robot, and that's like a D grade or a Z grade character there.
What about Dr. Light? That's not really a chemist.
Yeah, not really chemist, and nor is he really a Green Arrow dude.
Prometheus?
Nah, it'd be too new.
Yeah, that's true.
And Prometheus isn't really... Arrow killed Prometheus in the comics, but...
Yeah. Okay, nah. I got nothing, man. Okay, we tried.
I think it might be, they might be dragging some of Batman's leftovers over.
Which, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, ones they're never going to use anywhere else. He has plenty to choose from,
Yeah, so who knows? It'll be interesting to find out, though.
We will see the regular appearance of Omabatabia.
Yeah, there you
go. He's had some strange villains over the years.
So, talking about characters that show up in Arrow, Flash.
Yeah.
Fantastic introduction of him in Arrow.
I thought so too. Yeah, I thought he was very engaging. The character had life, and forgive the pun, had legs. It definitely could stand on his own 2 feet in a series.
Oh. Ow. Anyway. Yeah, he's still a little young for me, but I think he'll grow on me after a while.
Yeah.
Now his little support group there, I'm not so sure about, but
they're technically what are they? Killer Frost.
Star Labs.
Yeah, Star Labs, but it's Killer Frost pre-Killer Frost and Vibe pre-Vibe. So. I
hope they never buy, but that in the little, you haven't seen them, Chuck, but in the little shorts that have come out, the kid going, "I'm the one that makes the toys, man."
Yeah, that's the Vibe character.
It's like, dude, are you stoned?
I didn't mind the Killer Frost character, and we saw both of them in a couple episodes on Arrow too.
Yeah,
and they showed up. So, Tim Cavanaugh is in it though, which I didn't know, I don't know what role he's playing. I guess he's like the head of Star Labs or something.
Yeah, he's a wheelchair-bound doctor. I didn't really catch his name, but it wasn't a name that clicked as a comic referential name to me.
Boy, when you say wheelchair bound on the DCU, that makes me think Doom Patrol immediately.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. Where do we know him from? Brant, do you know any other roles he's done?
Kavanaugh?
I can't place him, yeah.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, he didn't he have a show himself? Well, I know he played. If you ever watched Scrubs, he played JD's brother.
Yeah, he
in a couple episodes.
He was in a show about advertising at one point that I really liked, and I can't remember what it was called.
He had his own NBC show for a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to say Tom or Ted or something.
I think he also does a podcast on.
Oh, that's possible.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he does one on Nerdist.
Oh wow!
Yeah. His speech style is definitely different than what I'm used to. In the shorts where he was talking, because he pretty much is the main talking head in these outside the clips.
Right.
You know, he describes all the characters.
Right.
And his talking style seems a lot different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
From him.
Is it? Am I saying it? Is it Tom, not Tim?
It's Tom. I think it's Tom Kavanaugh.
Okay, it might be.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I couldn't find it.
You know, it's kind of interesting to me. It's you see the emergence of Flash, you see Gotham coming, you see all these projects in the works, and DC has a history of doing some decent television, not great, but they're certainly seeing their best right now, I think. But it's funny how DC, just from an outside looking in, it almost feels like, well, okay, we never got the movies right aside from Batman, so we're just going to let you guys have that, Marvel, and we're going to take television. How's that? Oh, we got S.H.I.E.L.D.? Oh, damn.
Yeah. All right.
Can't you let us do one thing first?
Yeah.
Tom Cavanaugh was in a series called Ed.
Ed, there you go. I knew it was something.
And he was in a series called Trust Me. He was on Eli Stone.
Okay.
So he's been in a lot of things.
I know, Ed's what I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah, I knew it was a short name.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Cool.
But yeah, speaking of these featurettes, a couple of them were like Star Lab Central, but there was the one called Friend Zoned.
Oh, yeah.
Where he's with Iris West, and he's like, I think he's about to tell her how he feels, and she's like, don't worry, you'll find the right person, that kind of thing. So it was kind of funny.
Well, yeah, because it had them live together as kids.
Yeah.
Which is a weird kind of take on the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because when his mother died, he moved in with Detective West and young Iris.
Right.
Apparently, so they kind of grew up together.
Yeah.
So they're kind of ad hoc brother and sister, but he fell in love with her during that time. Yeah. So.
Cool.
So who knows?
Did you see the trailer for Flash, Chuck? The 5-minute one?
No, I have not. Wow.
Yeah, it's really good.
Definitely looking forward to checking all this out.
You must watch that trailer. It's
okay.
Yeah.
It's a full 5 minutes long. It has Professor Zoom in it. I mean,
oh my god.
Yeah.
It explains the show kind of in one 5-minute shot.
Great. Yeah. No, I've been living in my own little bubble the last couple weeks. So.
And if you're not aware, John Wesley Shipp, who played Flash in the '90s TV series, is playing his Barry's father.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. I like that actor. He's kind of fun. Yeah. We've met him once, I think. I saw him at one of the shows. They all run together, but I actually got to see him. I didn't really meet him, but yeah.
Cool.
Neat.
And speaking of DC shows, there's an open casting call for Gotham Extras happening actually next week.
Where?
Just lost it. Where to go?
Probably New York.
Yeah, New York.
New York. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
They need hookers in the background.
they do need extras.
Yeah.
But heading over to Marvel, though, the Marvel Netflix shows, they don't specify which one, I don't think, but they're looking for specific extras, a casting call also in New York. They're looking for female prison inmates.
Hey.
Well, it goes further. Reading the rest of it.
Yeah, it goes further.
Oh, really?
Yeah, seriously, it says they had to be comfortable with full nudity or in their underwear.
Go Marvel.
It is a Netflix original after all. I mean,
yeah. So I guess we're gonna have a slightly higher rating on these Netflix originals.
Yeah. It just makes me wonder which one this was for, though.
Well, it says, don't they refer to it as the kind of gritty?
Well, they're all.
I forget. I forget the reference they used exactly. It was something like the something Heroes of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, the flawed heroes.
The flawed heroes of Hell's Kitchen. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But that could be any of them too.
Well, yeah. Honestly, if it's a women's prison, it's got to be either Daredevil, going in there to represent someone, or Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Got thrown into a women's prison for something.
Possible, I guess. Oh, it'd be interesting.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see. Definitely a co-production of Marvel and Vivid Entertainment. No,
that's right. Meow, chicken, meow, meow.
Or Marvel's answer to Orange is the New Black.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I've been watching lately, Chuck, by the way.
That's a good show.
You've been watching Orange is the New Black?
Yes, I know.
Crazy Eyes is awesome.
It's surprisingly really... I didn't think I would like it at all.
I know.
It's kind of addictive.
Yeah.
I'm like halfway through season 2 now.
That's awesome. Wow. No, I've watched a good chunk of season 1, but I didn't make it past that. I got derailed on other stuff. But yeah.
Some of the a couple of the comic Frontline people were talking about it, and I was
intrigued. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't have anything else to watch one night, and I was like, let's watch an episode, and I was like, okay, that's all right. I'll watch another one, and
And you're hooked.
Yep.
Yeah. I could when I finally I was partway through the season before I realized that was Janeway from Voyager.
You lost me.
Red.
Okay.
Red on the series is Captain Janeway from Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
That's Kate Mulgrew is on that show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and when you put that together, when you really look at her and then it finally hits you, it's like it's one of those glasses just came off moments. You just don't expect it. But
yeah.
She plays a Russian.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If we really take a look at it, you'll see Janeway right there. Yeah.
Wow. That's all I'm going to be able to see
on the Naked
now.
Prison show. Wow.
That's all I'm going to be able to see now.
I know.
Yeah.
She's awesome there, though. I
let her explain that next time they do a Captain's documentary.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. It's an interesting show, though.
I liked it a lot.
I love and this is another total derailment, but I love the twist in you think some of the characters are there for one reason, and then as they do those little flashback scenes,
yeah, I love the flashbacks. Yeah.
You realize that they're there for something completely different.
Yeah.
I think that's really interesting.
Just don't let this slide you into jumping back and watching Oz, because that's a whole different experience.
Oh yeah. No.
No.
Don't worry.
No. As naughty as Orange is, Oz is much worse.
I actually watched every episode of that series right up to the finale.
Wow.
Yep.
I think I caught 5 minutes of it one time when I was flipping channels, and I was
whoops, moving on.
Well, it was Homicide: Life on the Street was one of my favorite series for a long time there. I love that series. It's the same creative guy behind that, so I was.
Yeah, but with a lot more leeway.
Oh yeah,
with some HBO leeway.
That was very eye-opening in the time when I watched it. Yeah.
So to speak.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh,
Cringeworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I still have to give hats off to Netflix for their original programming, though.
Yeah,
they do some really good stuff.
Great. They're doing great. I think I honestly, we've talked about it a couple times on the Charlie Tonic Hour, but it really is kind of a vanguard for where television is headed.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you seen House of Cards? Either one?
Yeah, I watched first 2 or 3 episodes of it, but I haven't made it beyond that. But it was really, again, that's the Kevin Spacey one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was killer. I mean, what an evil man, but fun to watch, especially his internal monologue.
Yeah, definitely. What were you going to say, John?
Oh, I was saying I haven't seen it yet, but I know of it. I know of I've caught enough of things of it to know about that whole internal monologue thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or breaking the fourth wall thing where he's talking directly to the camera.
Yep.
about it. Yeah.
I thought they did pretty well with Arrested Development. It wasn't the best season ever, certainly, but they carried it on in a nice way.
I never got into Arrested Development. I don't know why.
Oh God, I love it. It was during that I'm divorced, locked in my bedroom phase of my life. But I watched the entire series like over 3 weeks and just loved it. But.
Now, Hemlock Grove was another Netflix original. It was okay.
I haven't watched that one. That one I know nothing about. But.
Yeah, it has Famke Janssen in it.
Yeah, when they're like vampires or witches or something like that. Or am I thinking of something else?
Werewolves and
okay.
It kind of vampires, but it's not like it's very played down. So.
Yeah.
Right.
It was different. It was kind of out there.
Well, Brand, if you guys do a pre season premiere show of Zone 4 for The Walking Dead, I want to be on it.
No.
I got so much to say about that series.
Awesome. Yeah, actually, the mayor Don Johnston and Brandon Barrows usually join me for the Walking Dead stuff, so you can.
I was about to say,
yeah.
sign me out of that one. Go ahead and put Chuck's name in, and you know.
Yeah. So I'm digging it.
Awesome.
We actually on this last Wednesday's Charlie Tonic, one whole segment we did was we covered Game of Thrones first season and kind of thoughts on Walking Dead up to season premiere of season 4. So that was just fresh. I just did a podcast on that, but I love talking about it. My God,
awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just not to derail on it for 2 seconds, but one thing that really kind of surprised me is the big differences that are happening. I mean, everybody knows Walking Dead derailed between the comic series and the television series, but I love that some characters that are dead in the comic, I'm still getting to enjoy in the television series.
Yeah.
And I don't, Brant, you're a current reader of Walking Dead, right?
Yeah, I'm a few issues behind, but pretty.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say the only thing, but Andrea, he's basically, developed in the comic series a pretty heavy love affair with her as the series went on. And I got to tell you, that was spoiler everybody, please, big spoiler, but when she died in the television series, that was unexpected because I'd held, because she's such an integral part of the comic series, that they would hold on to her and as a character they could work with in the television series, and I love that the television series can shock me because of what I know from the comic series, and it's like Andrea, I still get to enjoy the comics, it's just the fact that it's like I love the universe and I now have 2 ways to enjoy it, and that's something I've never experienced before between the comic and television, and I just think it's phenomenal.
Oh, wait, was she look at the flowers?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because I've heard that reference like 10 times already.
Yeah, he hasn't
just look
gotten
at the
there
flowers.
yet.
Look at the flowers. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I will probably within the next 3 days.
When you do, you'll know exactly what...
I don't even know what the scene is exactly. I just know look at the flowers. Look at the flowers.
Dude, that is one of the most intense scenes in the entire series. I'm telling you.
And one thing that is cracks me is like I've been to so many shows where Norman Reedus has been set up at,
oh, I know,
and he's like there every other weekend, and I couldn't have cared less. And now that I've watched this show, and he's such a cool ass character on that show, I'm like, yeah, I want to meet the guy,
Yeah, talk about breakout characters, because he doesn't exist in the comics.
No, he's been phenomenal in that series. He's half the reason to watch the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and yeah, he's always got lines for days.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, at every show, and it's like, my God, man.
Yeah, awesome.
So have you gotten up to the Red Wedding on Game of Thrones yet?
No, and the funny, this is a funny little joke. See, Rachel is trying to read ahead of what we're watching on television. She's like into the second book. Now that's a heck of a challenge,
babe.
Yeah.
That show moves fast compared to the book, so she's trying to continually read ahead of it. So, she's at a point in the book where and we all know that something horrible happens in Red Wedding, but we've totally avoided what it is. Right. But she was telling me just earlier this evening, it cracked me up, she was, there are 2 weddings coming in the book, and I don't know which one's red, and I don't want to know.
Red's the first one.
So, that made me laugh so hard.
Oh,
now we're just in the first season of Game of Thrones.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I was about to say that's so cute that she's trying to keep up.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's not going to happen.
I know. So,
yeah, that show is moving so fast from what I've heard.
Oh man.
Yeah. And but it surprises me that it is, because when you have such a limited amount of content to play with, because he's still got 2 more books before he finishes the story, it's like you're burning through them this quick, and you've got a hit television series. What do you do? Yeah.
Oh, this past season was full, though.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was full to overflowing.
Cool.
So yeah, I think he's got nothing to worry about right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I heard so much. Everybody just living and dying by each episode of Walking Dead and Game of Thrones. That was truly what put me on this water cooler quest, because I felt like I was missing out on something. And that's the first time since X-Files and the old days that I felt like, I could have a cigarette smoking man moment in the modern era. I felt like that was gone. And these 2 series have so enamored people, especially in our geek culture, that I feel like, okay, I can have this community moment with television again. So that made me just, I want to catch up on everything.
Oh, I mean, Sundays were crazy because you had Once Upon a Time at 8. Then at 9 you had both Game of Thrones and Cosmos.
Yeah.
So, I'd end up watching Game of Thrones because there was no commercials. Mm-hmm. And then I'd end up watching Cosmos after because, I could fast forward through the DVR. And it's like, when did Sunday become the go-to night of television?
And Walking Dead comes on Sundays, too.
Yeah, see, there you go. So that's another thing for people. So, somebody that was into all 4, that's insanity.
Well, I also watch Revenge, which also comes on. It comes on after Once Upon a Time. So.
Oh my!
Yeah, see, I never got into Revenge. I don't know. I mean, I like I like the lady that's the main character, but I just never got into the thing.
I really like that show.
Now, you got to be a Game of Thrones watcher and you got to be a Walking Dead watcher. But my favorite of all time teaser images that I've seen on the internet is. It is an image of the sword throne in Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
that's the big thing. Okay, well, it is a throne comprised of zombie body parts laid out,
nice.
Arms and legs laid out just like the throne. Rick is sitting on the throne, and it says at the bottom, "Summer is coming."
Oh, nice.
Nice. That's cool.
That is the greatest
image
I have ever seen.
That is awesome.
That's kind of brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
That's the best thing since I heard they put Gandalf's sword in the Game of Thrones.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, Gandalf's sword is somewhere in the Game of Thrones throne.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm going to be looking for it every time I see that throne.
Yeah, now you got to get real close on it, but yeah.
Now, I don't agree with the comparisons, but the comparisons I've got a couple times about me and Littlefinger, I just love. Now that I've started watching the series,
I love that.
That is my John Constantine in the Game of Thrones series. I love him. He's so slimy and so wonderful.
Oh, wait until you get to the current season.
Yeah.
I won't say anything.
Yeah, stop, because I don't even know that he survives that far. So.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
Well, since we already spoiled it, he does survive, and it's Littlefinger heavy. This season is,
I love the character, so, and of course Tyrion. Everybody loves Tyrion, but
oh yeah.
I wish I could talk about the finale with you now, John.
I know, it's so great. Let's say that for another day.
Yeah, I just watched it, so I mean.
Oh, did you?
Did you see the Onion? Did you see the Onion headline? It's like. Biggest shocking twist in Game of Thrones finale was the surprise of FBI agents at the doors of 50,000 pirators or something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, great TV for us. So there you go.
Oh yeah.
Well,
it is. Yeah.
Speaking of which, something I just encountered today. People should go over to the Nerdist and. Well, actually, it was off the Will Wheaton project, but it's showing on Nerdist. They did a Game of Thrones set to the Brady Bunch theme.
Oh, wow.
And you don't have to, I don't think you have to be current to enjoy the thing. I don't think they spoil anything. But yeah, go watch it. It's funny.
There was something out there that Rachel watched before we ever watched Game of Thrones about it. Like it was like bad lip reading or something with Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that
was now, especially that I've watched the series, it's even funnier. But
oh yeah, they were Renaissance Camp thing. It had some had some
like
real long names.
They're running a Ren fair, and it was and it basically it's all the real scenes from the show, but it's like bad lip reading where they're redoing the words, and it is the funniest thing I have ever seen. It had me just about crying.
If you haven't seen it, Brant, you need to because it's
Phenomenal.
hilarious.
Yeah.
And at one point, Tyrion smacks Joffrey.
Yeah.
And goes something about, yeah, give me a slap. Now give me $5. Something like that.
When you see it, it's phenomenal.
Oh, it will make you cry.
Yeah, one for the show notes if you find it.
Yeah, definitely. I'll look for it.
Yeah. Oh man, so what else is happening in the world?
Nothing.
all the news is still light because San Diego's coming. So.
Yeah, everybody's keeping quiet till San Diego.
That is the new winter that is coming.
Yeah.
We're already getting San Diego news. I mean, what was it? Yeah. DC sent out some stuff today, and but the 50th or 75th anniversary of Batman that's going on, and there's lots of pieces that were kind of beginning to fall from the sky. But heck, San Diego launched its own blog for news like couple weeks ago. But
I mean. Yeah, go ahead, John.
No, I was going to say it was funny in that first photo gallery that Chris sent back from the special edition New York City Con.
Yeah.
It was, the Batman 75 standees. It was like every picture was Batman.
Yeah. I did a gallery of those on CR. They had those at C2E2, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris is always upset because last year was Superman's 75th, and he was
they did nothing.
they didn't do nearly as much as they've done for Batman's.
Yeah.
Which, it's their most popular character.
Looking at those photos, I was kind of surprised. I thought it'd be bigger, but
no, it looked really small though, didn't it?
Yeah, special edition.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of cool, kind of intimate. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Did you see that Denver Comic-Con made it into Wired magazine with a big article?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, the whole kerfuffle that's going on in Denver between my old buddy Charlie LaGreca, Charlito, and his breaking away from the show and starting Rock Comic-Con in the city. And the funny thing was they actually did, in that article in Wired, a toss-out to, they gave Cincinnati as an example of another area of the country where a show split and the two owners are fighting it out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they talked. I actually kicked that article over to Andrew at Cincy Comic Con and Cincinnati Comics Expo and said, "Have you seen this yet?" And he messaged me back, said, "Yeah, we did talk to them about it. I had no idea it was coming out this quick, but yeah."
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep.
Crazy stuff going on.
It is.
So what do you read?
You'd have to be a fool to get into that Cincinnati market.
Only some idiot would do something like that.
Yeah.
What am I reading? Oh, God.
Everything. I've seen your reading list, so I'm just being...
Well, the funny thing is, the beautiful thing about my reading list is, as of last week, I mean, my goal. I was like 6 to 12 issues back on everything I was reading, and I read about 84 titles a month. And that was at Derby City Comic Con last year. Yeah. And my goal was to be caught up by Derby City Comic Con this year. And where I am right now, as of just a couple days ago, is I am the current issue back on out of the 83 titles I'm reading, I have 59 of those for this month that I still need to read. So I'm at least caught up to what's out right now on all the comics I'm reading.
Wow. So. Jeez, man, where do you find the time?
I'm reading 7 to 10 issues before I fall asleep almost every night for the last year to catch up. Because that's the thing. If you're reading this many comics, every Wednesday you fall another 20 to 24 issues back.
I know.
Yeah, I have been reading so many freaking comics. And there is. And the thing, see, that's why Rapid Fire Reviews for me came back this week. Because I'm in the current month now, finally. Yeah. So now as I read stuff, I can actually write about it again. Who cares if I'm reading, 6 issues back of Walking Dead? Nobody wants to read that review, but I'm actually up to where I'm kind of current. So.
Wow. Yeah. That's kind of been the running joke on Comic Frontline because I'm on the live show over there.
Yeah.
I'm like 6, 7 weeks behind on everything right now.
Yeah.
So it's been kind of the running joke that I'm never caught up. So.
I gotcha. No, I think the Gold Key stuff that's coming out of Dynamite has been solid. I really like the new version of Rye, and I read for the first time Dr. Spectre. I reviewed that on the website this week, and I thought Mark Waid did a good job of kind of recreating that character in kind of in the vein of a reality television show where monsters are real and they're hunting the monsters, was kind of the take he took on that. Magnus Robot Fighter is phenomenal out of that mix of titles, but I've kind of adopted them as some of my Valiant reading, even though they're not actually Valiant. There's still that universe of characters that I love. So. Yeah,
we were torn on Dr. Spectre. Wasn't that one of the ones we reviewed?
Yeah, that one and Rye, actually.
Yeah.
We were torn on both.
I really liked Rye. Rye I thought was pretty phenomenal just because it was such an interesting, almost Blade Runner-esque feel about it. I thought the art really, right down to like the clear raincoat type things in some of the scenes there. I thought it was a nice throwback and had a lot of potential. Magnus, I think, is the best of the crew, but
that one I haven't read yet.
Yeah, Dr. Spectre has I thought potential. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we said pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
I didn't like Spectre as much as I like Rye. I remember. I thought Spectre was kind of... I didn't quite know what they were trying to go for with Spectre.
Yeah.
Because it seemed interspersed with being... with trying to be comedic and a little more supernatural at the same time, and didn't seem to do either that well for me. So
I think I was the opposite. I think I liked Spectre better than Rye.
I think I just liked the art on Rye a lot. The story was kind of
nice.
the story was kind of just kind of it's an opening story, so there wasn't that much going on, but I really was blown away by the art on that.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course, all the Valiant stuff I still consider very strong. I'm still enjoying everything there. In fact, even the one title that I thought was pretty weak, Shadow Man, has really picked up strength as it's gone. I think it's gotten a lot better, and it did exactly what I said in some of those early reviews I wanted it to do, which was ground itself more in the New Orleans culture and feel. So I think it's done a great job of turning what I thought was the only weak link in their whole universe around. And the Armor Hunters that just came out is solid. Vendetti writes it. It's kind of there's this extra world force that's possibly more powerful than Exo-Man of War that's come to Earth to take back the armor, and there's hints that the armor may be like this Trojan horse in disguise that will destroy the world kind of stuff, and it's fascinating. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I want to get caught up on that stuff because I love it so much, and I fell way behind on all the Valiant stuff, unfortunately.
I think after way too long and way too many painful reads, Hickman is finally beginning to come together with all the stuff he's been doing. I'm ready for an Avengers without Hickman, but I'm scared what'll be next. So.
Yeah, I'm not.
It's just it's so plotting in so many ways and so brooding, and that gets to me. But by God, I still enjoy the stories each time I finish them. So it's like I don't want to like it, but I do.
Okay. Yeah, New Avengers. It's up to what, like issue 26 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
It's still the same story.
It is. Yes, I know.
Like, wrap it up, pal.
If you had a good gig, would you ever stop writing it?
Well, true.
If they were only going to pay you until you finish the story, you'd never finish the story.
The thing is, that particular story is leading into that time runs out thing that's going all the way till next April. So it's like still going on.
I was praying that Original Sin would somehow wrap it up, but I guess not.
And Avengers and New Avengers, he's still going with that all the way through at least April of next year. So.
Gotcha. Did anybody read Cyclops #1?
Not yet.
No.
Phenomenal.
Really?
I was shocked. It isn't the old Cyclops. It's the young Cyclops who ran off with his dad and the Starjammers.
Yeah.
And it's a father and son tale of him and Corsair out in space. And it's
nice.
The series is not about our old Cyclops. It's about the one that ran away from the newbies that had come to present. So,
actually, I may have read that first issue.
Yeah, I liked it.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Is that the one where he takes them onto another ship?
Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
okay, yeah, that was really good.
Really fun. Let's see, anything else that's kind of stood out recently? Superior Foes of Spider-Man I still love. That's a joy each month. I gotta admit. I know it's a title that's got to be marked for death soon, but
no. If you read the, it was kind of funny. We were talking about this on Frontline last night. If you read the solicitations for September,
yeah,
it says specifically in the solicitations, not canceled yet.
I love it. I love it. My God, Magneto's dark.
Yeah,
man, that's such a dark series, and I just love every issue of it.
I do too. Yeah.
Let's see. Boy, did you see Mark Waid was twittering? I mean, Hulk is controversial. What's going on in there with the whole brain fart and shot in the head, and he's right. And if you follow Mark Waid tweeting at all, he's just funny. He talks about how and I'm going to take a break from the Hulk that everybody hates and get back to
yeah. Everybody's glad I'm leaving.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I noticed that. I'm like, hey, nobody's glad.
No,
surely.
I actually did. I found it intriguing what he's been doing. I mean, his Daredevil stuff is incredible, especially with the move to the new city and all the. It's like Daredevil can't find his way around because he doesn't know he's not in New York. It's such a beautiful concept. But,
it is, yeah. He's been brilliant on that series.
He really has. That's been the best Daredevil. I mean, I would put that above Frank Miller.
Oh yeah, I would too.
Yeah, and I never thought I'd have anybody come up that I would say that of because I dearly loved those years with Frank Miller because it built the whole Daredevil mythos basically. But, a character. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just rattling on. Somebody else talk. I apologize.
Go ahead.
Keep going.
A character that is surprising me that I want to see more of, and I really wish I'd been reading when they did it, when the series was out. But everywhere I see the Frankenstein character in the DC universe, I just love those stories. They did the Batman which has a rotating second character. I think it was issue 30 or 31 was Batman and Frankenstein. His whole temperament and approach of I just want to be left alone, but if you're really going to do something, let's go do it. That character is just so much fun. I think he's interesting.
I've never really gotten into him, but
yeah,
cool.
Yeah, I started to get into him. Then they kind of shifted over to the whole New 52 thing. But
yeah,
I just don't think they know exactly what to do with him.
I know. He's basically just this almost like Conan-like character wandering. He's like everybody who ever finds him, he's like out in some like Arctic region. He's just trying to be alone, and people won't let him be alone. It's a kind of a recurring funny joke. But another one that's been strong, and I've got to get behind in a big way is Constantine. I love that they have. When they brought it over to New 52, I felt like it was a Saturday morning cartoon version of the character that I loved. And I'm a huge Constantine fan. And what they've done very subtly, I think, is the stories have gotten closer and closer and closer to Hellblazer as they've gone on. As we're getting into issue 14 and 15, some of the stuff that's gone on has been pretty dark. And that's what I was looking for from the character and what I thought I'd lost forever. I mean, it's not Brian Azzarello type stuff, but it's getting back, yet he has become the linchpin of the DC universe in so many ways. And I got to admit, I'm surprised, but I got to get behind it a little bit.
I'm surprised you even were reading it. I thought you would
Never
drop
stopped.
it out of protest.
Never stopped. And
wow.
The thing was, after I got past 3 or 4 issues, I actually found myself enjoying it. I still had something of the character I loved, and I hung with it. I'm glad I did.
Are you looking forward to the TV show?
Immensely. I am so. Well, I love the movie, so that tells you I was okay with it. And I think this character actor is so much better and so much closer to the character.
Oh, yeah.
And some of that preview footage that was out there just looks phenomenal. I mean, I was blown away. And I think, you could have done this series half a decade ago. It's the television with stuff like Walking Dead. I have a whole lot of hope that something like where's that series running through? Is it going to be? It's mainstream television though.
NBC.
That kind of sucks.
Well,
I would rather have seen it on AMC. But
true, but their Friday night stuff does get a little bit more edgy, and that's when it's going to run. Yeah, because they did the Dracula series on there, and it wasn't shy of doing the blood thing and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
Good. And for me, it's not. I'm not a big horror geek. I mean, I don't like blood and guts, and
right.
I love Constantine because he is the redemptive villain, and that's why I'm such a sucker for those. So that's Littlefinger, all those kinds, going all the way back to Raceland with the Dragonlance stuff. I've always been drawn to that kind of. I'm evil, but I'm just about to become a good guy, and do you want to? I'm teetering on that brink, and like the days when Juggernaut was about to become a hero again. Or Magneto. Magneto's another one I've loved over the years because he's always been right there on the fence of whether he's going to be evil or good, and I think that's just such an interesting character to be able to play with in a narrative. So.
Did you see the Constantine teaser where they showed the Dr. Fate helmet?
I don't remember which one. You would think that would be something that would stay on. It's been a while since I watched the video I watched, so if it's something recent,
still image.
Yeah, it was. Well, I think there was a second trailer. I just never saw it. Yeah,
okay.
But yeah, a still image was going around. They actually showed him holding Dr. Fate's helmet, which I thought was really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
And the Ibis stick.
Yeah. Yeah,
nice. That is awesome. Yeah. My gosh, can you imagine they tie all these series together from time to time? Well, no, they can't because it's different networks, but never mind.
It'd be nice.
Ignore me. I'm just over here rambling to myself. John, a series I got to tip my hat to that I'm enjoying that you were telling me to read for a while, but Red Hood and the Outlaws, some of the most recent issues I've been having fun with.
Yeah, honestly, the only New 52 book that I ever really got behind.
Yeah. I'm reading 19 of them right now. So,
are you still reading Green Lantern?
I am. Green Lantern and the Corps. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I tried. I was Red Lanterns for a couple months, and I dropped back off. And New Guardians, I've made it almost near and ran away each time. But
yeah, New Guardians is, in my opinion, the worst of them all. I can't get into that series at all. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy on the Green Lantern Corps. I kind of like the whole Derlin thing going on right now.
Yeah, it's intriguing. I mean, it gets back to it's actually closer to old school Legion of Superheroes storyline telling than it's Green Lantern, and me and Legion, that's awesome as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
So yeah, it gets into Keith Giffen kind of narrative there, but I think it's. I still stand by the fact that I think it's better than who was that guy that was writing it before?
Jeff Johns?
Yeah, that guy.
Wow, I totally disagree with that.
I got so burned out on the Rainbow Coalition storytelling. It just became so, especially by the time you got to the first Lantern stuff, it was just horrific in my opinion. So,
well, I agree with that, but he did a 10-year run, so I mean, he told a lot of good stories in there, though.
There was some great stuff that I sincerely enjoyed. I like more character-driven, down-to-earth. I think you have so much global star-spanning potential in Green Lantern that it's easy to get lost in that, and I think that's where the characters failed a lot over the years. And I think telling the stories of the Corps in a way that they're doing right now, I think for me, it's a more rewarding read. I'm certainly enjoying this more. Okay. I don't feel like everything is so event-driven. I feel like we actually have a series that's maturing based on an ongoing story.
Yeah, I think that's some of the what's the word I'm looking for? I think that might be some of the reason that some people aren't quite behind it because they're so used to that event-driven stuff in that book. So it's kind of scaled back down and kind of slowed down to a normal story pace, which is
Well, they had 50 different characters going at once, at various points.
Yeah,
and it gets to be too much for and unless you're like an uber Green Lantern fan, it just gets to be, I can't keep track of all these characters. I need 2 or 3 people to focus on, and the rest of you guys go be background for a while.
One of the best books going at DC right now, which surprises the heck out of me, because it's one, I think over the whole history of me reading comics, I've never been one to get behind. Azzarello on Wonder Woman has been phenomenal.
Yeah, really? You're alone on that one.
I know.
I mean, I haven't been reading it, so I don't know, but really, that's surprising.
Yeah, go ahead, Chuck. Sorry.
I think it's been, I've read it I've only been on reading for about 12, 15 issues on it, but I look forward to it every month.
Okay.
It's got a dark edge to it. It's got a very, very quirky storytelling style. I mean, it's out in left field, but I like it.
I'm not a fan of Azzarello. I don't
okay.
like his writing at all.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
I'm biased.
I got you.
I tried it. I did. I've tried it a few times actually.
Yeah.
I read the first 2 or 3 issues. I jumped back in in the 8, 9, 10 range, somewhere around there. Tried it again around 20. I can't get into it.
Oh, we missed talking about the big one at DC though. Is anybody else reading Batman Eternal?
Oh yeah.
I'm caught up with the most recent issue. Well, I know a new one's coming out this week, but I've read the first 10 issues of it, and I think it's a great concept. I mean, jumping a year in the future and I don't know how they're going to resync everything when it's done, but
I don't know. But it's interesting. I think there were a couple of issues that were kind of but overall, I think it's been a great series. I've only read up to issue 8, I think.
Okay.
But
I think the art is what's suffering sometimes in it a little bit. I felt sometimes they've been just kind of throwing in the art a little bit, but I mean the overall concept they're for a weekly series. I think they're doing pretty good.
Yeah. I like it better than Futures End, which I'm also reading.
I gave up on that one. I was in for about 3 issues and then I said I'm out.
Yeah,
I was out after the free comic book day one, so don't feel
really?
bad.
Okay.
I like the free comic book day one.
I didn't realize it was weekly. Okay. I'm kind of glad I dropped out then because I didn't want to read one of those every week. So
there's a third weekly series coming in September.
Really?
Or maybe October. Yeah.
What's the focus of that one?
Earth 2, Futures End, or something like that.
Yeah, I dropped Earth 2 too. That one kind of burned me out.
Yeah, and then they're all ending in March, I think. All 3 of them.
Okay.
Gotcha. Is that the time of the quote-unquote DC Band-Aid?
It might be. Yeah, it's March or April, somewhere around there.
What is I don't know the DC Band-Aid. What's that?
John, you know more about that.
Well, I don't necessarily know more.
Okay.
Just our buddy on Bleeding Cool started calling it the DC Band-Aid, where they're going to start integrating people from the pre-52 universe and the new 52 universe in together.
Oh, Lord.
Now,
how to destroy an already convoluted history.
Exactly.
Even more. Oh, my God.
So,
I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, you may have, Superman with red underwear on again, interacting with the new 52 Wonder Woman or something. I don't know. There's no real details yet. I'm still holding out for the idea I postulated years ago when New 52 started, which is that this is just one of the 52 Earths that they mentioned in Infinite Crisis or whatever crisis it was, and that the normal DC universe is happening on another Earth, and we're just going to shift our focus back over there.
Okay, I found the article, and it's saying they're expected to announce this whole thing at San Diego.
Wow.
But they're going to be doing 48 books over the course of 2 months, a mix of old and new, classic and modern, familiar and less familiar.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Have you heard any? This is one that I kind of caught the squabblings from talking to Paul, who's over on the Cultural Wormhole, the Fantastic Four podcast over there. That there's a rumor out there, and this has been a week or two, so it may have been disproven completely since then. But that this whole breaking down and destruction of the Fantastic Four and possible ending of the series that's coming is tied to Marvel being kind of ticked off at the studios and wanting to not have a comic out when the film comes out.
Yeah, I've heard that talk. I haven't seen anything disproving or proving.
Yeah, and actually there were, I forget who it was, one of the bigwigs was asked directly about it, and didn't say no, just said I can neither confirm nor deny.
Yeah.
Well, I'd heard someone say that supposedly another bigwig saying, no, we'll always have an FF book. As long as people want an FF book, we'll have an FF book.
Yeah.
We'll see. They're also canceling Ultimate Fantastic Four, too. So,
wow.
At issue 6. So.
Well,
FF, I take it's gone, right?
Yeah.
It's come out in a while, so okay. Now, I got to talk about the one that has got me most excited, and that is Marvel putting out Figment.
Okay, I haven't read it.
Okay, it's I expected to get a lambasted for that. It's a very Disney theme park.
I don't even know what that is.
It's one of those Disney Kingdoms books.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I love the character, and I grew up kind of around Disney parks, so it's near and dear to my heart. So
I don't even know who Figment is.
It's from Epcot Center. There was a ride called Journey into Imagination, and he was like a little narrator, this little purple dragon that would tell you all about like how to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I did a story on that. Yeah, okay, I remember now.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I've only been to Epcot once, and that was like a long time ago. So.
That was Figment. Figment and the Dream Catcher or something like that was the guy who was
Oh,
going to
my. Yeah, you're going to get lambasted as soon as I know what the heck it is.
Well, the funny thing about it is if you look at the art from the issue, it's like there's this kid who encounters Figment, and it looks like they're actually maturing it up just a little bit. So we'll see. I'm curious. I'll check it out. I got so many books I want to read that I can't get around to. Like Clive Barker stuff, the new Nightbreed, the New Testament that's out. I'm dying to get over. I've been hearing so many good things about Jupiter's Legacy and, what else have I got out there? Revival, Tim Seeley's book I've never gotten to read. I don't know, there's just a lot of stuff that's out that I really want to try that I'm trying to get caught up so I can get to it. I want to get back to Six Gun. I miss Six Gun. I love it.
Yeah, I'm so far behind on that book.
I know. I'm on issue 3.
Yeah, I think I read 6, so I'm not far ahead of you. It's up to like 44 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm about to say, start getting trades at that point, guys, because you're way off.
Now, John, as a huge Firefly fan.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
What happened?
I'm here.
Can you hear me? Okay, I'm here.
Yeah,
I'm here.
Okay,
good.
That was weird.
Just a hiccup for a second.
Okay, as a huge Firefly, continue.
Yeah, have you been reading Serenity Leaves on the Wind?
I read the first issue, and I haven't read any of the others.
Okay, gotcha.
You should read the rest.
Yeah, I want to. I just haven't, got around to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah, it's I've been enjoying it, and it's well in the spirit of the series, I think. So
to me,
nice.
I haven't read all the Firefly comics they've done, but to me, this one, of the ones I've read, is the most faithful.
Oh, really?
I actually, before I would start reading Leaves of the Wind, I sat down and read every Firefly comic that had ever been produced.
Oh, did you?
In one afternoon. And Brant, I will tell you 100%, this is the best yet.
Awesome.
Yeah, and there were some really good award-winning stories that went on in that, but this is by far the best.
Yeah, I really like Shepherd's Tale, so it's going to have to come up. It's going to have to be up there for me to tout it better than that.
But then again, I was a big person who dug the Buffy series, even through the point where a lot of people didn't like it. And Georges Gentry on this, who did the art for the Buffy series, Georges just pulls me in. It feels like I'm back in Whedon World when I'm watching the art of Georges Gentry. So that helps me a lot on this story. Okay. Yeah, and I said that in my review today on comicrelated.com. Well, it's kind of phenomenal. I mean, from this like year-long drought of us writing. Yeah. John had an article this week. I had 2 articles this week. I mean, it's like, Brant, I'm sorry I haven't noticed what you're doing.
Not articles, so it's good.
Yeah. I mean, it's like suddenly we're writing again. This is exciting. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's good. Good time for it too.
Yeah. And I have a buddy who's.
Is it a good time for it?
No, it's a horrible time for me to be writing. But
me too. But yeah,
it's helping me blow off steam that I need to blow off.
It's a good time industry-wise.
Right? Yeah,
that's true. Jonathan Sweeney, who's got a series called Man of God. He's going to be at Derby City, and he sent me all 6 issues. I'm going to try and read those for Friday Rocket Fire review. So
awesome.
I'm excited. Yeah, well, I've been wanting to sit down with his series for a while.
Yeah.
So
very cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's a before bedtime reading though.
Oh yeah, have you read it?
I've seen it. I haven't read the whole series yet, but
Oh, I'm okay with before bedtime. Come on, man. I'm watching Walking Dead at 1 in the
Well,
morning.
that's true. Yeah.
But I've said this on other podcasts. I've said it on, I think, a couple different, I said it on Facebook and Twitter. One thing I must, as a public service announcement, if your significant other or person in your family, or if they make meatloaf, do not, during lunch the next day, decide to watch Walking Dead while you're eating meatloaf. That is the worst possible choice you can make in life. I just got to warn you. That ketchup is just going to really turn your stomach when you're trying to eat meatloaf.
I got to say, two shows that you probably don't want to eat much with are Walking Dead and Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't eat it all.
For some reason, I was able to pull off Lee's livers and gizzards while watching The Walking Dead. So.
I wouldn't pull that off if I wasn't watching anything.
That makes me want to vomit just podcasting.
Yeah. I know. They were it's funny because the gizzards are a little chewy, and they were like pulling a sinewy neck, and I'm yanking a gizzard.
Stop it! Stop it!
Okay.
Disgusting.
If I was hungry before, I'm not now.
Yeah. So much for food now.
Oh, shoot. Anyway, speaking of Derby, that was a nice transition.
Yes, that Derby thing.
There you go. From gizzards to Derby.
Yeah.
both chewy and hanging your
tasty.
Mouth.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, this is Kentucky. Chicken is a thing. But
it is.
Anyway, and it's Kentucky for me and John.
Yeah.
Sponsor of the week.
But no, kind of our sponsor, and of course, it's happening next weekend, so we want to talk about it a little bit. Derby City Comic Con.
Yes. I know of no other thing in life. I go to sleep and I dream it. I wake up and I work on it. I go back to sleep and I dream about it more. This is my life.
And then after next week, you'll take a whole week off, and then be back
Cavalcade of Comics.
Year. Yeah. Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, and Queen City.
Queen City. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I've set this up so I never stop now.
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
So forget that week off. You might have a day.
Yeah. Some of the recent developments with Derby City Comic Con. The kids area at one end now will have a life-size Lost in Space robot, complete with all kinds of collectibles from the series and stuff like that. Got a guy who owns and maintains it. It'll light up and talk to you and all kinds of stuff. So that's kind of a neat little extra that we've thrown together in the last couple days here. No, packed show floor has been a packed show floor since December. Not really a lot of changes. Of course, Robert Venditti, Mark Waid, Tim Seeley, Mike Norton, and Tony Moore. A nice little surprise addition. Woo. Yeah. Awesome. I didn't even know he was coming until he emailed me. So that's awesome. I mean, we got a great lineup. We got 2 nights of parties. We got a steampunk kickoff party. We've got one of my favorite bands and occasional people who sleep at my house, Ford Theater Reunion, will be playing on Saturday night. For those of you who are of age 21 and over, those 2 nighttime parties are included with the weekend badge, and the Haymarket Whiskey Bar has been listed in a recent magazine article as one of the top whiskey bars in the United States. Huge kids area, family-friendly event during the day. It is absolutely awesome. Jenna Foster, who's head of our kids area, has put together Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. themed kids area. They're all going to be cosplayed up as Marvel's agents. They're going to take kids through all kinds of tests of skills and let them qualify to be an official agent to take on Hydra. There's the whole big kids area planned out. Costume contest with cash rewards. It's just phenomenal. It's everything about Derby City that I've loved, only we amped it up this year. And it's just packed show floor. I love all the creators, and this year I had more time kind of leading up to it. I was a little bit rushed last year. This year I got to really get to know a lot of the people that are coming to the show. So many arts, so many creators. It's just phenomenal. I honestly love what's coming. And I cannot wait. I feel so much emotion towards this show as it comes. It's going to be a party that is going to start on Friday night and it's going to end on Sunday night. And there are events that are going through the night. There's stuff going on through the day, and a weekend badge that gets people in for everything is $15. And I challenge anyone to find anything like that across the country.
No, you won't.
I know. And it's like somebody was asking me today. It's like, how many passes do I get on my table? And I said 2. And he said, "Oh, okay, well that's good. I appreciate it." And he said, and I'm like, and I'm sitting there doing the math in my head. It's like a table for a creator is like $70, and the passes are $15 each. So basically, if they had bought their badges for the weekend, their tables are like $40. You know?
Wow. Yeah.
When you really do the math backwards, it's like we're so I've wanted to build something like CR that celebrated indie and small press and gives them a place where they can come and hang out and have a good time. And with all these other shows popping up, not to disparage anybody, but table price is $300-400 sometimes. It's just I want this kind of convention to still exist, and I'm willing to fight for it. So
awesome,
man. Yeah,
Music to
sorry
my
guys.
ears.
Yeah, if you guys coming to see media guests, sorry, but we won't charge you a lot to get in. You're gonna have a heck of a great time. So
exactly.
Yeah.
There are other shows for that kind of thing. So
there are plenty of other shows, and they do a really great job of it. Yeah, but mine isn't it.
If you're a comic fan, come to Derby City.
Yeah, and it is increasingly hard in the United States, even some of the smaller to medium level shows. I think at Gem City, there's a few out there that are still those pure classic Comic-Cons. If you want to see where the culture began and where it really still thrives as a comic convention that truly loves comics and sequential art, Derby is the kind of show to come to, because it's something you can bring your kids to and they can see what we all grew up loving and why we love comics so much, and still get a mix of everything from the shopping experience to everything else. It's just you don't have to bleed in everything, and by doing that I can keep the prices down and bring people in. So
right.
Yeah.
Now I saw you were gonna release like the panel schedule. Is that out yet, or will
It is
be
up.
up on Friday?
Absolutely,
Okay.
it is up on the website, man.
Cool.
Yep, it is up. If you go, I've been adding new tabs to that website all the time. As we add big pieces of important information, I add a new tab up at the top. So there's a tab for the kids area, for the parties, but the panels, there's a tab for the panels, and it has all the panels listed out. So we got panels with Mark Waid, which John Wilson is hosting as the Yep. It's the Is Mark Waid Really Evil panel. But Mark's actually doing two panels. Christy, who's going to be there with him, is doing a panel on gender in comics. And Mark is actually, I think, going to be moderating that with her. Robert Venditti talking about all his stuff that he's got going on, from Flash to Green Lantern to XO. Tim Seeley doing a panel on what he and the press have dubbed Farm Noir. The rise of Farm Noir in comics, and but it's about his revival series. We got 12 panels basically the show. We've got a introduction to cosplay, we've got an advanced cosplay, one on each day. We've got two small press panels where it's like a group of small press creators talk about their experiences in the industry. Our good buddy Bob Hickey, who is working with a software design company, talk about 3D modeling and how that can kind of integrate into comics. It just goes on and on. There's just so much going on there. Paul has just done an amazing job this year putting together the panel schedule. It's nonstop from the time the show opens till it closes each day. He was giddy when I gave him a second day to build panels for. So yeah,
that's awesome.
And Paul is also the guy behind all the Cultural Wormhole podcasts that go on CR. So it's a small family. We love each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool. And, of course, this is all taking place June 28th and 29th, which is next weekend.
Next weekend, coming up fast.
Yeah.
Now, something that we're kind of doing that's unique this year, we're really encouraging people to go ahead and get the weekend passes in advance. They're the same price they will be at the door, but a couple things that you get with that is you get access to all the side events. You also get into the show floor an hour early both days. But the neat thing is we've created a place. We're going to be at the convention center anyway all day Friday. We have access to the show floor Friday, so I'm getting all the tables set up that morning. We're doing load in with all the creators through the afternoon. But our staff is going to be set out outside at our registration desk, so anybody who goes to the website and purchases a weekend pass can pick it up on Friday at their leisure over the course of the day, or Friday night at our party. And that way, Saturday, you will actually be able to come to a comic convention and not stop anywhere and walk straight into the show floor.
Oh, nice.
No lines. And we're creating this so that people, if they're in Louisville already, they want to pick up their passes, they can just come get them. They're taken care of. Hard card badges, beautiful hard card badges for the first time this year, and for the first 1,000 people who get weekend passes. So, yeah, they pick them up early. They can walk straight into the show floor, and no headaches, no lines. So it's like being a creator with one of those magic passes let you to walk in. Yeah, I want to create that experience for people.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward
VIP without VIP prices.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
So.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I live it and breathe in this. So this is all I'm thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's next week, so this is.
I love it.
This is the opportunity. So.
I'm absolutely giddy. So. We'll see. This is the time when I start running to Louisville regularly to be on morning talk shows and stuff. I see how that comes together over the next week. So hopefully we'll get some TV exposure. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And of course we'll all be there. So.
Yes, all three of us again. It's becoming a trend. Yeah. My gosh, this is like a world record. Have you never met Eric Radcliffe in person?
Yeah, I met him at Champion City.
I thought you had. Okay, cool. Yeah.
And we roomed together, actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Eric will be there. That's right. I remember that now. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Eric will be beside me, actually. So.
Yeah. Eric is coming in. I think he arrives in Louisville like at 6-something that morning.
Yep.
So Saturday. So yeah. He and I were chatting last night.
Yeah, I was chatting with him last night too.
Yeah. John,
I haven't said a word to him.
Well, he's your roommate for the weekend.
He'll be knocking at your door at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Kiss my butt at 6 o'clock in the morning.
He'll be sitting on your porch at 6 o'clock in the morning.
He'll be sitting on my porch till I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning.
He's coming straight into the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's got all kinds of new Comic Day stuff, of course.
That's exciting. I can't believe that webcomic series is coming up on its 5-year anniversary. That's just outstanding.
Yeah, just a few weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it is. So, it's going to be a killer show. I can't say enough good. I'm so proud of what we built. I hope everybody comes out and sees it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you'd like to learn more info about it, you can go, of course, to DerbyCityComicCon.com.
You got it. Absolutely.
And come out and see us.
Yeah, definitely.
Have fun with us. So you have any other announcements? If you need any more?
No, I mean, well, just everybody who didn't get into Derby City Comic Con or would like to work with us in the future, we're going to be opening registration for Cavalcade of Comics, which takes place November 22nd, 2014. And that is a second show that we're doing in Louisville. And that one is more retailer-focused than indie and small press-focused. But that one, we'll open up registration for that about 30 minutes after we close the doors on Derby City Comic Con. So, yeah. And all kinds of things about Queen City Comic Con. We already have about 4 of our featured guests nailed down, and that's just kind of beginning to happen. Like today, I'm just beginning to. They're not. I don't have any big, huge announcements yet. But these are people who I know who are going to come, and we're going to feature them, and it's going to be wonderful because they're incredible creators and national people. But there is a new company here in Cincinnati called Guerrilla Cinema that is doing pop-up movie events where they pair food with a movie, and basically they'll do a multi-course food thing with alcohol drinks, and they do it with a movie. And they're doing their first one is Pulp Fiction, celebrating the 25th anniversary, and they've got a 9-course meal with drink pairings also all through it. So basically you watch the movie and you eat the whole time, and you sample things and you try things, but it's all themed right with the movie. And we were talking, the guy who owns Guerrilla Cinema is a really good friend of mine, and it looks like we may have an official movie pairing for Queen City Comic Con. And that's an exclusive that hasn't made it out there anywhere yet. So
very cool.
Yes, nor am I going to write it up before you put this show live. So, like I did last time, we did an exclusive on the show for you.
Wait, he's still got a couple hours before his bedtime, so...
Yeah, no kidding. I got a lot more to do. Good gracious. Oh.
It'll be on CR by morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
By midnight, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that was funny. That was the thing. It wasn't just an exclusive I was given Zone 4, but the fact that it made it on CR before you made it.
Before the podcast.
Sorry.
It's okay. We know you, Chuck.
I know.
Yeah. No filter when it comes to news.
I love it. No, I'm thrilled. These are some of the best days of my life. I love what I'm doing with the con. I love it's reinvigorated me. I mean, hell, you can't read as many comics as I've read in the last year and not be cross-eyed and still love the industry, and I do.
That's true.
Yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. John, you got any announcements?
Nope.
Okay. Well, I actually do have a couple, if you guys...
All right. Let's go.
All right. First of all, this week, Henchman Inc. came out from Monkey Brain via Comixology.
Uh-huh.
It's a book I lettered, written by Tim Simmons with art by Jim McMunn. As we're recording this, I've already gotten reports of several very positive reviews of it.
Yay!
So it's doing really well. People are really impressed with it. So go check it out. It is 99 cents on Comixology. So
awesome.
Yeah, and it's a full issue. A lot of Monkey Brain issues are shorter because they come out more frequently. This is like a full 22-page issue for 99 cents.
And what was the name of that one more time?
Henchman Inc.
Henchman Inc. Okay, yes. Cool. I like the title. That's kind of cool.
So came out this Wednesday, June 18th.
Nice.
And also, I blogged about this on the Wannabe site, but due to some hosting problems I'm having, that update is completely gone, so I'll say it here. Little sad news followed by some really positive news. Scott Simmons has left Wannabes. It was a mutual, amicable split, no drama. It's we both moved on, and it's fine. It's all good. He's still very supportive.
Cool.
But I have a new artist attached, and I have not announced who this artist is yet. I was going to announce it, but like I said, the site went down, so I couldn't really do that. But and I'm probably going to butcher his name, but his name is Ewan or Iwan. It's either Ewan or Iwan Nazif.
Oh, cool.
And he's done some stuff before. He's been published by Titan and Dark Horse. He did a miniseries a couple years ago for Dark Horse called Cult, and he recently, I think back in April, had a story published in Titan Publishing's what is it called? Dragons Riders of Berk, which is a How to Train Your Dragons comic. You know, he's experienced, published. He's worked with Lisa Moore, who is still coloring the series, and they work very well together. So he's coming on board as the new artist of Wannabes, and we're very excited about that. I've already seen one character sketch, and looking forward to seeing what he does with the rest of the series.
Nice.
Yeah. So we're still planning the Kickstarter eventually, once we get all the details together and everything. And we're actually going to be redoing issue 1 with new material. It's going to be updated. You know, the old version was originally written in 2002, and it kind of parodies the first Spider-Man movie, so it's kind of outdated. So I really wanted to update it and do a fresh take on it.
And reference the new Spider-Man movie?
No. No.
Cool.
Yeah, look for more news on that upcoming. But that's all I got right now.
That's awesome, man. Congrats. Yeah. Yep.
Very excited.
Neat.
All right. So I guess that's going to wrap up the show.
Yeah, because Eric Radcliffe keeps trying to call me here on Skype. That's funny. I guess he heard the stalking.
This isn't a live show. What's going on?
I know.
You're just talking about him.
It's funny. Oh, well.
I'm curious now because somebody's messaged me on Facebook. No, it's not him. Okay. All right, but so that's our show. Does anybody want to read us out this week?
I can always do that. I kind of like doing it. I don't mind it a bit if you want me to.
Go for it.
Okay. We'd like to thank our sponsor once again. Hey, it's Derby City Comic Con, taking place June 28th and 29th in Louisville, Kentucky. Go to their website, www.derbycitycomiccon.com. We'd also like to thank the official band of Zone 4, the Ray Wall Band, and Society's Plague that you hear on this show and each and every week. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, well, just stuff them because we don't pay attention to them anyway. Exactly. Or you can send them to zone4@comicrelated.com. We are also a proud member of the Comic Related Podcasting Network. As always, thanks for listening. You are now leaving Zone 4.
Whether wrong or right, the watchmen watch tonight.
This has been a Gonzo Goose production.